I know I failed you, but I tried to save you, Jason.
Is that what you think this is about? That you let me die? Bruce, I forgive you for not saving me. But why? Why on God's earth is he still alive?
What's howling, everybody? I'm Batwolf and welcome to another movie pitch. Today we will be looking at the bad boy of the Bat family, Jason Todd aka Red Hood, to see how a movie within the new DCU could work. Of course, for a movie to prosper, we need a good visual storyteller, someone to play our main character, and a really good story. So with the geek facts out of the way, let us begin. So first, we need a really good visual storyteller that can believably show this new Red Hood in a way that is both believable for a film and is respectful to the source material. First Director is known for his incredible work as a martial artist and stuntman, and his innovative cinematography in the Extraction series. Sam Hargrave is a great pick to direct a Red Hood film, as he has created some of the most gorgeous and well-paced fight scenes I have ever witnessed. But he still finds time to give you those quiet moments with your characters so you could feel the impact of their actions. Of course, most of this analysis comes from the Extraction film, but I think the picture more than justifies his talent in filmmaking, with his fresh style and attention to detail. Being a stuntman and working with legends like the Russo brothers not only will be able to bring the badass anti-hero we all know and love, but show off his brutality in a way very few could replicate. Next director is known for bringing us the action thriller juggernaut John Wick. Chad Stahelski's work is simply something to behold. His films use such powerful and gorgeous symbols, attractive lighting, and oh yeah, revolutionary fight scenes. Seriously, every movement in John Wick makes you worry for the character's life. Every punch and gunshot makes you think, ooh, that's gotta hurt. Not to mention how he's able to make every location feel like temples that belong to gods of Olympus. I would love to see his takes on the darkest parts of Gotham and the bases and operations of the League of Assassins. Of course I would like to see him take on the Dark Knight one day, but I think taking a versatile, tough ninja with a caring touch might be a familiar place for Stahelski and would allow Jason to be the force we know he can be. Tyler Rake, John Wick, and now the director that brought us The Equalizer. Antoine Fuqua brings a pure level of realness and intensity to his worlds in The Equalizer series, Emancipation, and Southpaw. He can also bring that superhero-style balance of humor, emotion, and violence shown in the Magnificent Seven movie. More importantly, Fuqua does an insane job at directing complicated characters with special skills that genuinely believe that all they do is for the greater good. Just like our boy, Jason Todd. Red Hood is the first Robin to go against Batman's no-killing rule, and believes that after all the deaths Batman's rogues brings to the innocents of Gotham, Jason's the only one facing the truth. The cold, dead truth that all crime and fatalities could be solved with a single bullet. Now that we have a possible director, we need to find an actor to portray our Jason Todd. Someone to be the angry face underneath the red helmet. Similar to my Nightwing pitch, I'm going to come up with a series of concepts and skills that our actor will need so he could play the Red Hood. And then I will show off the actors I believe who could do the best job. Let's get this out of the way. Any fan of Jason knows out of all the Robins, Jason carries the most trauma. You can argue with me, but none of the other Robins were killed by the Joker, brought back to life, and turned into a weapon by the League of Assassins. Our actor needs to be able to go 0 to 100 and show off a difficult time holding back the beast within, and have an attitude with authority and establishment. Being the second Robin, Jason is a couple years younger than Dick Grayson, so an actor to believably be in his mid to early 20s. Most people like to look at Jason as the muscle of the Bat family. And while I don't think he should be bigger than Bruce, I think Jason capitalizes on other parts of being a fighter than his fellow brothers of the Bat. So our actor should carry more muscle for us to believe that he can pack a serious punch. While punching and shooting are important for this anti-hero, is the subtle gentleness that he has with the everyman of Gotham that sets him apart from people like Bruce Wayne. Our actor needs to be able to show that he can ask a homeless person how they're doing and punch a gangster in another. That said, here are some actors who are more than capable to bring our Jason Todd to life. Jacob Elordi, John Boyega, Dacre Montgomery, Taron Egerton, and Matthew Daddario. Okay, so we have our Jason, but what we need is a mission, a reason to bring our Red Hood and give him something to fight for. A mission that hits close to home and brings the hero an anti-hero. Where is a better place to start than the very beginning? Introduce a young Jason Todd running from the police, only to finally escape so that he may enjoy the sandwich he stole in peace. He realizes that he's in the very same alleyway where Batman parks his sweet ride, the Batmobile. As any fan knows, this leads Jason to begin his work at stealing the vehicle's hubcaps, and a not-so-happy presence shows up. Batman looks at the greasy, skinny boy and asks, "Who are you?" Now the boy has grown to a young man. He walks towards a red motorcycle, with the red helmet on the seat waiting for him. He puts it on and rides out to the city, New York City. The Maroni crime family looks to move their territory to New York, believing that they are safe from the glaring eyes of the Batman. They don't expect to be attacked by a similar yet different force. Red Hood executes the crew and dispatches a fury of gunfire. The boss yells at his goons about thinking that they were safe from Batman, only for Red Hood to point one of his guns right at his temple. "Do I look like Batman to you?" We go back to Jason's garage. Weapons hang from the wall, heavy weights sit on the side, and empty pizza boxes and beer cans are scattered on the couch. To help with his horrors of the past, Jason has been self-medicating. He grabs a prescription bottle with someone else's name, sits on the couch, and begins to end his long night with a beer. Jason wakes from his nap, pointing his revolver. Roy Harper raises his hands, only wishing to talk. Originally hostile towards the former hero, they start to talk. We find out that after an incident in Gotham, Jason was banished from the city by Batman and has been calling New York his home away from home. At this point, Roy has been out of the hero game for a while, a recovering addict, 6 years sober, and a proud father. That's why he's here. Roy reveals to Jason that his daughter, Leon, was captured by the League of Assassins and the trail has gone cold. Seeing as Jason was trained by the organization, he may know how to find them. Jason realizes that the true reason Roy came to ask Batman's greatest failure for help isn't because of the knowledge he possesses, but the fact that if anyone stops them from saving Roy's little girl, Jason will do whatever it takes. Not wanting the innocent girl to suffer at the hands of his tormentors, he decides to help Roy. As Jason waits on the plane, he takes this as an opportunity to get some sleep. His dreams, as they always do, quickly turn into nightmares as he remembers the night he lost his life to Joker. The strikes of the crowbar, the ticking of a bomb, and that laugh. That damn laugh. Roy wakes Jason, and they make their way through the Himalayas. This movie will show the two heroes as a team, fighting, interrogating, and bonding, forming a close friendship, eventually bringing them to the hidden location of one of the League of Assassins' operations, Nanda Parbat. The two set up camp and wait for nightfall to strike. Roy has been asking about the events that brought Jason to New York. What happened between him and Batman? Jason explains that he went back to Gotham for the sole purpose of killing the Joker, but he hoped, prayed, that Bruce would see things his way. Finding out that even when Joker crossed that line, killing Batman's son, not even Jason's death was enough to break his precious code. For a moment, Jason lets his guard down and appreciates the talk, but they are cut off by a swarm of ninjas. They manage to hold them off, until Roy sees a familiar face and falls from her strike. Cheshire Cat points her side to Roy's throat, and Red Hood surrenders. Jason and Roy are taken to the cells, and Jason makes a guess that Cheshire is the mother of Roy's daughter. Roy explains how he didn't think she would ever take their daughter. He didn't even know she was still alive. Nonetheless, Jason feels betrayed. Before they could continue talking, the guards come to take Jason, and he whispers to Roy that he'll buy them some time. Jason comes face to face with the demons from his dreams, Ra's al Ghul and his daughter Talia. Here we meet the man and woman who brought Jason back from the dead, the doctors to Frankenstein's monster. It's here that they try to convince him that he is truly where he belongs, how he's become disillusioned to the Dark Knight's code, and how the League and their purpose for cleansing the world is just what he needs. This whole time, Jason has told himself that he's better than them, that he doesn't kill out of some self-righteous mission or ego-driven bloodlust, but he isn't. While it's the Al Ghuls that gave him a second chance at life, it's still his life, and he's tired of wasting it. Jason headbutts Ra's and makes his choice. Meanwhile, Roy is saved by Cheshire, and she apologizes to him for her betrayal, and explains how she was commanded to bring Leon for training, or kill her as proof of Cheshire's devotion. They team up, and go get their little girl. Jason continues his battles with the Al Ghouls, and he's not winning. If it was one of them, maybe, but these two are some of the greatest fighters in the world. They strike him so hard that they break his helmet, and his face becomes exposed. However, they don't kill Jason. That right goes to one of their students, Cassandra Cain. They proudly state how the only language she speaks is combat, and how her final step to her training is to kill the Red Hood. Now, Cassandra is important as we get to see how far the League is willing to go to produce one of their fighters, and Jason does his best not to hurt her. Eventually, Jason gets a moment to speak with her. He pleads with the young girl, how she has a choice, and that she doesn't need to become the monster they made her to be. Cassandra, Cheshire, Jason, they all have a choice. Cassandra decides to stand with Jason. As they get ready to fight, Roy and Cheshire arrive. A small war ensues with the League of Assassins and Jason's little band of outcasts. As they fight, Roy gets injured, and when Cheshire is distracted, she's stabbed through the back by Talia. This death stops the battle, and the lights from Cheshire's eyes fade as she reaches out to her daughter. At this moment, Jason uses one of the shards of his helmet and stabs Raish in the heart. Talia calls for her guards and tells them to get Raish to a Lazarus pit. She looks back at Jason and he smirks at her. She promises that they will meet again, and Jason states when that happens, he'll have a bullet waiting for her. After their adventure, Roy sits at a park bench, watching Leon play. Jason sits next to him. He asks about the mystery girl they picked up, and Jason says that he sent her to someone who always needs orphans with potential. With that, he leaves and gets on his bike. He drives all day until he makes it to a large sign, a sign that reads, "Welcome to Gotham." Batman walks out of the shadows, and the two are face to face for the first time since their falling out. Batman lets Jason know how Cassandra's fitting in. Jason makes his joke about her being his next Robin, but that position is already filled. Batman finally finds the courage to say how proud he is of Jason for helping a father save his child. Bruce asks what's next for him. Jason mentions how he'll most likely have to look over his shoulder for the rest of his life from the League, but in the meantime, he'll beat up some bad guys. Batman suggests that if he's going to continue fighting crime, he do it in Gotham. Before Jason can react, Batman hands him a case and says how he heard his suit was destroyed and had Lucius make him a new one. Before he leaves, he turns to Jason and says, "Rubber bullets, Jason." Jason opens the case and smiles. We see as our hero stands over a ledge wearing his new suit, completed with a new helmet, pistols, and a red bat symbol on his chest. Red Hood turns as he hears a scream. He chuckles and raises his gun. Home sweet home. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this movie pitch as much as I enjoyed making it. While we went over this version of Red Hood's story, there is plenty of details to go over. So let me know if you'd like an entire video dedicated to the script portion of this video, or any other pitches that I make in the future. Just make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified about all the things that we have cooking up on the Batwolf Enterprises channel. That said, this is Batwolf. Howlin' out.